Today we will explore the main differences between Islam and Christianity, analyzed by Alain Fuvrier, an Islam specialist and Jesuit. The differences include the person of Jesus, the dogma of the Trinity, the concept of revelation, religious freedom, prayer, salvation, the condition of women, among other aspects. For Muslims, the Quran is the ultimate and supreme revelation, considered a supernatural dictate, a summary of previous books such as the Torah and the Gospel. In Christianity, the Bible is not revelation itself, but a series of inspired books that allow us to know Jesus Christ, who is the revelation. Revelation in Islam is a book, while in Christianity it is a person, which creates great confusion between the two religions. Jesus is a central figure in both Islam and Christianity, but with significant differences in his interpretation and role. In Islam, Jesus, Isa, is one of the many prophets sent by God, considered just below Muhammad. Muslims believe that Jesus brought the Gospel, a book that Christians have falsified, according to this view. For Muslims, the final scripture is the Quran, and Muhammad is the seal of all prophecy, an idea unacceptable to Christians. Christians do not recognize Muhammad as a prophet or as an example of total fidelity to God, increasing the distance between the two religions. The concept of the Trinity is a major obstacle between the two faiths, as Muslims believe themselves to be the only authentic monotheists. Christians are perceived by Muslims as polytheists because of the dogma of the Trinity, something unforgivable in Islam. The death of Jesus is a scandal for Muslims, who believe that he was not crucified or killed, as the Quran claims. The incarnation of God in Jesus Christ is totally absurd for a Muslim believer, generating a deep misunderstanding. In Islam, faith must align itself with human reason, although it often transcends pure reason, calling upon the divine mystery. The Quran invites Muslims to reflect and use reason to meditate on the signs of God, making faith reasonable. However, faith does not come from rational evidence, but from a willingness to believe, according to the Quran. In Christianity, reason is placed at the service of faith, following Saint Anselm's idea of believing in order to understand and understanding in order to believe. The Christian experience invites us to seek God with the hope of finding Him, but without ceasing to seek Him again and again. This concept of continuous searching is closer to Muslim mystics, although they are viewed with suspicion by Orthodox Islam. Prayer in Islam is one of the 5 pillars of the religion, performed 5 times a day with specific gestures and invocations. In Christianity, prayer can include religious rituals, but it is also a personal relationship with God, like a friend talking to another friend. The status of women in Islam varies greatly depending on the country and the interpretation of the Quran, but often involves submission to men. In some Muslim countries, such as Algeria, polygamy and divorce are permitted, while in Tunisia the laws are more liberal. In France, many Muslim women live happily, although some face traditional practices such as forced marriage. In countries under Islamic domination, the situation can be very difficult for women, with severe limitations on their rights. The differences between Islam and Christianity are deep and painful, with shared terms having radically different meanings. Bishop Pierre Claverie saw dialogue between religions not as an exchange of information, but as a profound mutual questioning. Living a true dialogue implies sharing experiences of God with respect and openness, recognizing insurmountable differences. Christians are called to live a daily dialogue with their Muslim neighbors, sharing their experiences of faith and life. Both religions have a rich experience of God that they can offer each other, although their fundamental beliefs diverge. The goal of dialogue is not conversion, but understanding and mutual respect between believers of different traditions. The encounter between Islam and Christianity can be an opportunity to deepen one's own faith through knowledge of the other. Respect for differences and the search for common ground can help build peaceful coexistence between Muslims and Christians. Despite doctrinal differences, respect and understanding are essential for harmonious cohabitation in multicultural societies. The differences between Islam and Christianity should not be insurmountable barriers, but rather bridges for an enriching and respectful dialogue. It is crucial to recognize that, although there are insurmountable differences, there are also shared values such as justice, peace, and love for one's neighbor. the challenge for both faiths is to live out these differences in ways that enrich and strengthen each other's faith. Ultimately, dialogue between Muslims and Christians must be based on love and mutual respect, always seeking the common good. This concludes our analysis of the differences between Islam and Christianity. Thank you for joining us in this reflection.